Hey guys, welcome back to FetchQuest. It's been a long week since last session, so I've kind of forgotten. Alakai, can you go ahead and remind us?
Of course. So, last session, Kara fucking died for about 5 minutes and very tense, um, very, very tense dialogue between her and what appeared to be the being with seven eyes, in which she managed to quite well state her case for why she should continue to champion the cause, whatever it was, despite the eyes seeming to offer the opportunity to rest and let someone else take on the heavy burden. She awoke as a dwarf with a beard, much to the shock of many. And as everyone was reeling from the battle with Sister Metal, recovering what items she had in her chest with her, piecing together what could have happened, and dealing with the fallout of Zon's parents and James's sudden demise. People dealt with it in their own ways. Kara just wanting to get some rest. Um, Francisca sending word back to Lord Falamir, uh, making some offers here and there to Zon. Zon himself having to, in his own Zon-like way, break the news to his servants by declaring that the Mesveric house is disbanded, more or less. And Damokos returning to his father to inform Gabriel that the Mesverics were, in fact, disposed. And in one of the more disturbing episodes, Gabriel was both understanding and appreciative, as well as supportive to Damokos. But anyway, afterwards, his father began to lay advice on how to deal with Zon proper, as well as to secure the throne. Damokos seeming to run a potential double, triple cross. His own machinations beginning to lay forth, mixing with the others' plans. As I believe everyone eventually converged, is the word I believe, back at the Masveric estate to get some needed rest and to plan out things further with one another.
Cool, excellent. So it's in the morning. Zon, as you wake up in the morning, still kind of reeling from the events that occurred both yesterday and in your dreams last night, um, you kind of sit up and you look around. You notice there's a odd amount of skeletons just kind of aimlessly milling around in your yard.
Oh, okay.
Everyone else, as you're getting up, you're those of you with windows that reach over into the back and sort of right side of the house, you're noticing that there are one or two skeletons kind of aiming around. The others remain blissfully unaware of a guest once invited onto the property of the Mesmerics.
Do these skeletons look familiar?
You would never mistake a Johnny for any other
Oh,
type of
good
skeleton.
fucking god. I guess I'm going out of my room and down the stairs, down into the yard, to see what the fuck they're doing in my fucking yard.
Excellent. Is anyone else joining Zon as he goes to meet with a series of Johnnies?
I will join him. I'm with.
I suppose I'll go as well.
Cool. So you each head outside, and there is a You do see the little caravan that brought you down into your home, and standing by it is a Johnny with a scroll. Seeing you, he walks over and says, "Good morning, citizen," and hands the scroll to you, Zahn. The scroll, it's a very formal document requesting residence inside of this home. And it's one portion of it underneath is signed Lord Falamir, and then there's another signature for you.
This makes things much more difficult. The caravan's outside the estate right now, right?
Well, it's on the estate. It's outside the house, like right outside of the house, right next to it.
Yeah. I'll turn to the Johnny. Is Falamir inside of the caravan currently?
Johnny's going to stop, kind of look at you. Jaw's going to click open, little sparks of magic, and almost like the shuddering of the speaker coming to life. "Yes, citizen. Lord Falamir is eagerly awaiting for permission to enter."
Good. I'm going to speak with him first.
Lord Falamir is asleep. And you walk in, and there's the bookshelves. You see the big coffin that's laying on the ground. No sign of Falamir.
There is a coffin in there, though?
Yeah, there is a coffin in there.
I'm going to kick it.
I wouldn't do that.
Oh.
Too late. Wake up, please.
Falamir tends to sleep deep. I want you to make a strength check to see if you can, athletics check to see if you can kick the coffin hard enough to wake him out of his stupor.
8.
Well, unfortunately, no.
I kick again.
Go ahead, make another athletics check.
7.
It doesn't. You're like kicking
I
at
kick
this
again.
thing, but it doesn't.
16.
Hey, got it. So with that third and final kick, you kind of see the coffin shifts a little bit, and there's this. It sounds. The noise Falamir makes sounds very similar to the noise a cat makes when you drop it in water. Just a lot of angry hissing coming from inside the coffin.
Oh, that's great. You rudely showed up on my doorstep. Now I'm going to rudely awaken you so we can discuss why you showed up on my doorstep.
You see, like, fingers kind of poke out and lift up the coffin a little bit, and one very tired-looking eye peeks out.
You want to tell me why you're on my doorstep?
As I recall, you said that when we arrived, that we could stay at your home. I'm really taking you up on the offer.
Could. Right now is not a good time, as I'm about to burn my house to the ground.
Why would you waste such a good house?
Well, there have been some developments from a unwanted guest.
Is this...
And now my family is no more. So yes, it's about to burn to the ground. Would you like to stay somewhere else? No.
Oh, you need to fake your death, right? Something similar?
That was the plan.
Oh, we could just fake your death tonight. We'll set something up. Don't burn your house down. It's a foolish decision.
Insight check.
Go ahead.
22.
He is very upset at you for waking him up. But it seems like he's too tired to really... If he was going to try and manipulate you, it seems like you caught him at an inopportune time. Because he just seems more tired than anything. It doesn't really seem like he could be good for a full conversation. It seems like he is not at his most guarded, so any attempts to manipulate you might be a little bit more difficult on his part.
Fine. When you are awake, we will discuss this in more detail, because I do need assistance with this.
Fine. And the finger's going to retract. Coffin lid shuts. And no more is heard from Falamir.
I leave, signing the fucking contract that was shoved in my face quickly and throwing it back into Johnny's face.
As soon as you finish up your signature, they're already Johnny's carrying Lord Falamir's coffin into your house.
So I take it we're not burning your house down at the moment.
Yet.
Are you waiting for
That
him
is
to
not
get
off the
inside
table
it?
yet. What? No.
You're not. Yeah, I'd hope so.
Then I'll
And,
go find Kara.
I'm outside.
Oh,
Yeah, we're all there.
We're all
Okay.
here.
I didn't know who was there. Kara, I need your assistance.
With
I need you to cast that spell that carries things.
okay. Where?
I need you to lift up. You know who I need you to lift.
It's a pile of boulders somewhere in the house. They need to be moved.
Which pile?
All of him?
James. Right.
How heavy is James?
Pretty fucking heavy. I don't have his exact
I would
weight
assume
on-
he's not over 500 pounds, though.
No, he's just about.
That's 500 pounds is the limit on Tensor's floating disk,
Yeah,
as far as I'm aware. I think that's
Yeah.
500. Yeah.
It is.
yeah, he's around 500. We'll call it an even 499.
Either way, he's in pieces. I could pick up a piece if I needed to. But I need you to cast that spell so that we can carry him to where he needs to go. Or I assume he needs to go. He didn't exactly explain anything for what would happen if this happened.
I'll look at Francisca. He was relatively still intact last time, huh?
Yeah, they was not shattered. Anything I have that might be able to help with that is purely theoretical.
I still have horses. Cause like, shake
do.
one of my small legs. There's no way we're getting anywhere fast with this.
We could move him into a carriage.
Well, something that's faster than me because I can only have this spell for so long.
I just
There's
need you to
some-
carry him into a carriage so we can take him to the sewers and go through that sewer, whatever, and go.
Okay, I'm gonna head back inside.
Sure. So you do see the Johnnies, Kara. When you walk in, you do see the Johnnies disappearing into the room that does lead to the master bedroom.
This isn't my house. It's not my problem. I'm gonna fuck, I forgot. Well, I'm gonna make sure Noodle hasn't like chewed his way out of something first, and then I'm gonna go get the rock pile.
Noodle is fast asleep
Okay,
for now,
Noodle don't fucking care.
or pretending to be.
Yeah, I'm gonna start shifting the rocks off the bed and onto Tense's floating disc, I guess.
Cool.
I'm going to help open doors and clear pathways because we don't have servants to do that.
And I'll go get a cart ready or a caravan.
I mean, the caravan's right there.
Well, I mean,
yeah.
my caravan. The Mesveriks definitely have a caravan.
I mean, absolutely, yeah, but there's just one that's all prepped and ready to go.
I mean, I'm not gonna take his. I still have some of my manners.
I
But I'll
will.
get one ready, and then whenever they're ready, load it up, and then we'll go to the tower.
Before we go anywhere, though, I am going to ask, where's Jethra?
Jethra is inside of the house. You guys did end up seeing her a little bit before you did go to bed. She didn't leave with the rest of the servants. She seemed to
Okay.
have found a safe spot and hid.
Thank God.
Oh, thank goodness.
So you don't
Fuck
know
you for that
exactly
message
where
last
in the
week.
house. You don't know where in the house she is, but she is somewhere in the house.
Okay. As long as she's not in a jar somewhere.
I said she was in the house, not that she was not in a jar.
We saw her. She's not in a jar. I'm gonna also get Noodle.
Cool. And Domikos, you want to do something?
Oh, yeah, I'm gonna help Zahn get his carriage ready.
Cool.
And
Excellent.
while we do, I'm gonna ask him. So obviously, guessing you have a plan. Otherwise, you wouldn't have asked me to eventually burn down your house.
Part of one, at least. James told me before all of this that there was a few servants who were willing to look the other way if we entered in with our weapons. And as such, I was planning to figure out how to go about doing that. It just seemed easier if it also looked like I was also not going to show up anywhere. That we were gone. That they wouldn't be on the lookout for someone like me.
That is fair. Well, if you need any further assistance other than just burning your house, it's more of the plan.
I'll be sure to let you know. I have some things I need to think about. And things I need to look over once we're all in a more safe place.
Well, before when we were heading north, you gave me the courtesy of saying you would help me with what my father set me out upon. And I'll be honest, I don't want to see him with the crown.
I'm sure a lot of people don't. My only brief encounter with him seemed like he was a prick. So... And there's many reasons why I want it. Before, it was mostly because I hate the bureaucracy here and all of the barbaric traditions that they love to have. But now, it's a little bit of that, and if I don't lead, no one is going to stop whatever is coming for us. I could warn them. I could tell them. I could tell a number of people. They won't be prepared, and they won't care. So, If I have to persuade, I might as well do it from a position where they can't tell me no.
That definitely makes a lot of sense.
Then I'm glad you agree. Because we don't have a lot of time, so once we're done with this, I hope that we can get started. And if James is gone, then we're a little bit on our own, but there's hope that he might come back and we can figure out whatever the hell he also knew. And we'll finish up what we're doing and
Cool.
head over.
Excellent. So, everybody gets packed up into the carriage. James's more rubble than actual body is inside of the carriage itself. And who's driving? There are no servants. Unless you want to find Jethro, pull her out of her jar, and make her drive.
Me.
All right. So, Zon, I need you to make an animal handling check to see how quickly y'all are going.
Good.
Okay, you guys are going at a pretty decent pace. Some people are moving out of the way of your cart. As you do, you're going over to the sewer entrance, right?
Correct. I don't
Excellent.
know how else to get there.
Fair enough. So, as you guys are going through, what's your passives on?
My passive perception is 12.
12? Actually, let me go ahead and officially roll for this. You are good. You're actually making pretty clear way. Making better time than you thought you would. But yeah, you guys get to the shabby old hut with the kind of ruined area near the sewer entrance, and getting out of the cart.
All right. I will make an actual perception check because I do want to make sure that nobody follows us in here.
Sure.
13.
So as you get out the cart, you're doing a kind of sly look around. You don't see anyone. You don't hear anyone. Looks like you're in the clear.
All right. Keep a lookout, make sure no one's following us, but start moving him.
So, anyone else want to make a perception check?
Sure, I don't mind.
Sure.
All right, go ahead. So each of you look around. Looks like you guys are all in the clear.
It's a different view down here.
So for a second there, as you guys are entering in, Franziska, you could have sworn you saw somebody like in an alleyway, but on a second look, nothing's there. But yeah, you guys managed to make it deep into the sewers.
Going all the way to the tower.
Cool. Anything you guys want to do while you're going into the tower?
While we're going over to the tower?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Because you guys are making good time. Easy time, in fact. Nothing to be worried about.
Normally I would be practicing some music, but I take it that Zon's not in the mood for any sort of...
Not in the very echoey sewers, no. That sounds like a terrible plan.
She considers it for a moment, and then it's like, I'd rather not lose this instrument. So instead,
Excellent.
I will be like trying to, if it's possible to do so, trying to cover our tracks if any are left.
Yeah, make a survival check. Okay. Yeah, there's some occasionally, most of it is just stone pathways, but there's occasionally some sludge and some slime that one of you steps through, and you very quickly kind of slide it back into place, trying to cover up what little tracks you guys are leaving.
I have an idea. I have prestidigitation. Can I be using that to like soil those areas that are disturbed, or like?
Yeah, absolutely. In that case, go ahead. You would be getting advantage on that roll, so go ahead and roll again.
Okay.
Yeah, no, it's almost like you guys haven't even passed through here as you guys are moving through. But then you guys do eventually make it through the sewers. Hold on, wrong map. There we go. You guys are back on familiar ground. You guys do see the ruined tower. You are carrying James with you. Yeah, that's all the right people. Yeah, you start bringing James up to the tower, I presume?
Yep.
Cool. So, you make your way up the tower. Everything just as bright and happy as you remember seeing it. And you see the trap door in the bottom of the ruined tower.
All right. I'll open up that trapdoor once again. And I think we broke the ladder the last time we were here, so I'll
Yeah.
attach a rope somewhere
Cool.
and make sure it's stable, and then I guess we'll leave. Well, no, if he's on Tensor's floating disc, it'll just follow you. So,
Or if he's down the trapdoor, it's fine.
what?
Or if he's down the trapdoor.
No. Just leave him on the disc and climb down. It's not gonna fall on top of you.
It can't do 20-foot drops. Oh, actually, it can't do 10 feet or more.
How big is the drop?
The drop is about 10 feet.
Well, there you go. It's fine.
What was the spell's wording again? It can't do 10 feet?
10 feet or more.
It can move up and down uneven terrain or up and down stairs, slopes, and the like, but it can't cross an elevation change of 10 feet or more.
So it cannot cross an elevation change of 10 feet.
Oh. Alright. I'm gonna take a javelin.
Oh,
and
no,
as I'm
not-
climbing down the rope, shove it into the stone. And make a little platform.
Oh my god.
That's
All
a
right.
Machine.
Well, that counts. So
Yep.
there we go.
Okay.
So, I presume everyone's following them down into the corridor.
Yep.
Cool. So, you each get down in the corridor. There's that missing pedestal where it looks like James once was. Yeah. And then there's the fork in the road in the back.
Mm-hmm. Is like the blue lights still on and everything in here?
The blue lights are on. It doesn't really seem to have changed much. Maybe a little bit more dust has settled in.
Okay. Well, I suppose we should inspect these other ones first, and I will do that.
Cool. Everybody that's investigating a statue, go ahead, throw me an investigation check.
My investigation is awful, so I'm going to give someone who has good investigation advantage.
All right.
So most likely, Francesca, since she has the best investigation.
Cool. Yeah, Francisco, go ahead and roll with advantage.
Yeah.
Roll again. Oh, did it pop through?
Nice.
Yeah.
31.
Yeah.
Jesus. All right. Yeah. I mean, that beats the DC. So, let's start. Domikos, these definitely are statues.
Cool.
Kara, these statues seem to be recovering from some breaks. Oh, there it is. They seem to be recovering from some breaks and stuff in them. You can see, like, the statues themselves are damaged, and it does look like these are, like, weapon damage. It's not like cracks from age and stuff like that. And Francisco with an astounding 31. So you're checking these out, and you're seeing that these statues seem to be reforming. But more importantly, when you're down looking at the feet, you notice that there's the dust has been disturbed. Like there's footsteps that have been moving across the ground, and it's been recent.
So essentially, the vibe I get is that these statues have been moving recently.
If that's the vibe you want to take from it, that's the vibe you can have. It doesn't look like these feet are big enough to be statues. It looks like just somebody's been walking down the pathway.
Someone's been here before recently.
Well, we were.
here. A couple
Yes,
months
but
ago.
much more recent than that.
All right.
They
Do they
go-
look like they go out, or are they still here?
At this point, unfortunately, what you can tell is that the dust has been disturbed. It's not like individual footprints in there. It just there's some patches of the ground that are like more clean than other parts.
Hard to say, but it would appear that most of the dust here has been disturbed.
All right. Well, then keep an eye out. If there's nothing on these statues to really deal with, I suppose let's just try putting as much of James as we can on his pedestal and see if anything happens.
All right. So it's as you pile James onto this pedestal, after all the pieces that you've had get on there, the bottom of the pedestal starts to glow a soft blue. But from what you can tell, nothing further like changes on it.
All right. Maybe that will do something. I don't know. Oh, fuck. While we're waiting, I guess let's go check out and see if anybody's actually still here. Or anything has changed, I suppose. And I'll go do that.
Sure. So which room are you entering first?
I forget what rooms are which.
So on the left side, it's the messy office, and on the right side, it's sort of like some spare bedding
The
and
office.
a small kitchen area. Cool. So you go in there and you see like the lab equipment that's kind of broken and scattered around, the sort of damaged papers that are just covering the floor and sort of kind of eroded away a little bit. Make an investigation check for me.
I will once again call Francesca over. Hey, you notice anything in this room?
I'll go ahead and take a look.
You gotta throw with advantage.
Okay.
Yeah, so you're looking around. It's gonna take you a little bit to search this room, just due to all the mess. While you don't see any evidence of a person being in there, in one of the desk drawers that you pull out, it has a fake bottom.
Interesting.
We definitely didn't find that last time.
I'm going to delicately try to open it.
Sure. it seems almost jammed in there. Make an athletics check to see if you can force it through, or you can make a sleight of hand check to try and um, slip it through with
I'll
less
try
chance of
sleight of
breaking.
hand.
Okay.
What the fuck is up with your rolls? Just
Yeah, you can just roll everything for me today. Thanks.
What did it end up being? It hasn't popped yet.
26.
Natural 20.
26. Okay,
Yeah,
so with the
natural 20.
26, you're feeling out where the mechanism is jammed, and just a quick run of a dagger sort of clears up the jam enough. Oh, there it is, and you very easily sort of slide out this false bottom, and underneath it looks like there's a journal bound in red leather, sort of. And by leather, I mean it doesn't look like normal leather. It looks almost scaled on it. And on the bottom of this uh, false bottom, there is a what looks to be a small flat vial of acid that was rigged to break if forced through.
Ah. Oh, it's just like one of Father's ice. I'm going to try and So the vial hasn't like detonated yet, right?
No, and you're holding the false bottom. Like if there's any chance of it breaking, it wouldn't fall on. Like from the way you're holding it, it would just eat through the wood. It wouldn't fall on the
Okay.
book. Like you're holding it outside of the desk.
Okay, that's good. I'm going to take the journal that's in there if I can
Sure.
and set it aside. And then I'm going to carefully just put down the trapped bottom, like opposite side there. Yeah. And then try and just pick up this journal.
Okay. So the way that it is bound in the red, almost scaled leather, but it also has a black cord wrapped around it multiple times with a little pin collecting all the cords together. And the emblem on the pin is a rooster head.
Interesting. All right.
We've not seen that rooster head symbol anywhere, right?
You have not yet, no.
Okay.
I'm going to just rise up and walk over to where I'm assuming Zahn is like.
I've been watching you this whole time. I'm just sitting here.
Yeah.
Is this some Morathian family crest? I'm gonna say motion to the rooster head.
Would that be a Morathian crest that I know of?
There are some Morathian crests that do involve kind of roosters and other sort of more farm animals, but they're way more ornate than this. This looks simple as hell. Sort of like an emblem somebody would just make up on the spot if they were pressed for what kind of emblem their family had.
Oh, so it's definitely a Theobrin thing. All right.
Not
stupid and comical is like his normal thing. So
it's less comic. It's not like drawn out in like an angry drawing of a chicken or anything like that. It looks more like if you were to go up to a peasant and say, "Hey, what's your family emblem?" and they just kind of sketch something out real quick. It doesn't look ornate or like pre-planned or anything like that.
Which is exactly Theobrin's motif, which is why I'm immediately assuming it's him.
Does the leather look familiar to Damikos? Or similar, at least.
Go ahead and make a history check.
Of course, I'm referring to a book I've read recently.
Gotcha.
History check?
Yes. It doesn't. While it it looks like once it may have had, like, the scaled cover was almost thicker, like the scales on it were bigger and more pronounced rather than the small amount of scales on there. It almost kind of sort of looks like Car's little friend Noodle, but like a crimson red scaled version.
Just about to ask if it looked like Noodle.
Yeah.
You gonna open it, or are we just gonna collect dust like the rest of everything else in here?
Wait a moment. Let's make sure there's actually no one here first, even though they probably have already heard us if they are, but hold on to it. There's other things we need to look at anyways. And I'm gonna walk over to the other room and make sure nobody's in there.
Cool. Make an investigation check or perception check.
Okay, Francesca. I know you're holding that book, but you want to make a look around in here? You are better at it.
Certainly. Investigation, was it?
Go ahead and make your 30 plus investigation check.
Yes, please.
Or perception.
29.
Jesus Christ.
Good
All right.
enough.
Yeah, while it does look like there was somebody there, and even like somebody stayed there for a while, there's nobody there now.
Seems like the coast is clear.
That's
no one's
fine.
been here for a while.
Good. Well, just, I guess, be aware that someone knows about this place other than us or James. Right. Let's go check on James quick.
So,
I don't
Kara,
do
you
that.
look like you want to say something.
Sorry, I'm trying to rack my brain because I swear the last time we were here there was something on the roof, but when
Yeah,
we
it
didn't.
was the crow. It was definitely the crow. I remember
when
it
we-
too, but I
when
didn't
we
see
talked-
it, so I wasn't saying anything.
When we
I
talked
saw
to
it, but I
Jethro.
died.
Yeah.
Oh, don't remind me. When we talked to Jethro, she was also talking about potentially the crow while passing the.
Yep.
Fun stuff. So, where y'all headed?
Back to where James is to make sure,
Cool.
see if anything has changed.
Yep.
If it's doing literally anything other than being a light bulb.
It's only been plugged in for a few minutes.
Yeah, there's really hasn't been much noticeable change. I don't care how high of an investigation check you throw.
I mean, I'm seeing if there's literally any change.
There's heat coming from the station that's on, so much so that you can't really get close to it.
All right.
But
It's something, that's all I care about.
Yep.
I'm just making sure it's doing something. Because that's my only lead. Okay. Then I will make everybody go back into the office, because that seems like the safest place to discuss this.
Cool.
Alright. Well, first, I suppose we should look at that journal, since that seems pertinent. And I'm curious now.
Excellent. So who's removing the pin?
Me.
All right. I need you to make a dex.
Oh, don't say Dex. Get away from me with that. Don't bring that evil
Hold on.
here.
It's fine. If you get
Yeah,
sick,
no,
you have-
you're just gonna open it. Go ahead and make a dexterity saving throw.
Alright.
Oh,
7.
sweet.
I'm so sorry, but you take 2 points of fire damage.
Oh,
As
oh no.
in
Oh
this-
no, 2 damage. Oh
I'm
no.
sorry, did I say 2? I meant 200 points of
Oh.
fire damage.
Oh, half work. Hi, I'm back at 1. What?
and then an additional 2 points of damage.
Fuck off.
So
2
you
points
take
of
2 points of
persistent.
fire damage as the pin goes super hot, like almost white.
Ow. Okay.
But you do manage to pull it off, and almost as soon as it gets away from the book, the pin does go back to normal coldness, and the cord kind of you just easily unwrap it from the book itself.
First note, that pin likes to get very hot for no reason. Other than me opening it, apparently. And then I'll read the book.
No?
Cool. How much Velirine are you familiar with?
I
You
think
have a
we had it
semi-literacy.
saying I have like a reading level, but I cannot speak it.
Cool. All right, so yeah, so you open it, you recognize this is Velirine script. There's a scribble note on the front page, which is just blank other than the scribble note. It says, Journal of Uruk, Dragon Slayer, and Hunter of the Worm.
How do you spell that?
Uruk, that's U-R-U-K. God, my tongue's been tied all day.
We've heard that name before, right? That's the legendary person that killed all the dragons, right?
It is an alternative name for the legendary hero that killed all the
Okay.
dragons.
Is that connected to those weapons that the giant was wielding? The polearm and the sword?
Yes. Although indirect, I mean, they're not.
But
They're
like
not.
mentioned in the same legend.
They're mentioned in the same legend. Yeah.
You're talking about the Gigan stuff?
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. What was the full title again? It was Slayer of what?
Uruk, Slayer of Dragons and Hunter of the Worm.
All right. Why is this here? Let's start reading.
So, this book seems to be, you know, those like journals that Nathan Drake would have, or it would have all bits and pieces of legend and like little
Yeah.
artifacts and stuff like that. It's almost like one of those about Uruk. In it, it contains a theoretical map to where Uruk's last known location was, as well as the possibility of where some of his legendary gear was. It also provides a few clarification points on the legend. He was not raised by a dragon. He was in fact merely trained in some of the more devastating areas of his own personal skill by a dragon. It also was theorized that all of the equipment he carried was some offshoot of dragon, like dragon scale armor, dragon bone weapons. It seemed that, like it's noted in there, that it's a cruel irony that he used the very training he received from a dragon to wipe out the dragon race.
All right. Interesting.
But yeah, it does.
Where
contain
does
some-
the
What?
map say the last known location was? Or
Definitely-
as close to it what it would be?
It's definitely in the Blighted Waste.
Yep, that makes sense. All right. And then what about the gear? What locations?
They definitely seem to be more in Kel, although it is rumored that there was a potentially a suit of armor or some other form of equipment inside of Moroth. But the location had to be, like, the writing about it is very vague, very non-specific, and mentioned that it had to be guarded in a specific spot where
Is it mentioned that the items were guarded, not that it had to be guarded in terms of how it was being written?
No, the item. It mentioned that the items themselves that were found were put under strict guard, so that only the guardians could get to them.
And does it specify who these guardians are?
From the Velirine script and all that, you could easily assume that this was written by one of the guardians of Velirine.
I see.
Must talk to S again.
Alright, well this is interesting, but not exactly pertinent or priority, I suppose. On to something else. I was visited last night.
Oh,
And none of you all are branded anymore. Well, Francesca, I assume you never were. But there is a power at play who currently wants to help us and help everyone. And I know you are not of the mindset that he is always being helpful. But I do feel as though his alignments are more of the helping kind, though he may be a little bit more of the dietic sense of some are not exactly, not all life is going to survive in that sense. Some sacrifices will be made, and I mean, they already have been. And as much as I would like that not to be true, we are dealing with something much larger than ourselves right now. So, I hope that you will help me in this endeavor so that we can save as many people as we can. With that said, he told me something and gave me a gift that I wish to share with you quickly. It's actually very uncomfortable right now in this armor. And he will slowly begin the process of removing his plate armor.
I'm turning around. I don't want to see this.
He's got clothes underneath his armor. He's not naked.
And arguably, this is more of Zahn than they have seen before.
Yeah, yeah.
True.
I don't want it.
And once the arduous process of getting all of the pauldrons and things and detaching his one arm off, there is it's a mechanical arm that sort of is helpfully stuck there because of the armor, and when the armor isn't on, it's not really very well attached. And there are sort of white ruffled wings that flow out from the back of him, sort of contrasting the green skin that he has torn very precarious holes into the back of his sort of dress shirt underneath right now.
oh my.
Yeah, I'm aware. It's very strange.
Interesting.
I'm gonna kind of just do a 360 around Zahn, to be honest.
Fair. Go ahead.
Yeah, they're real.
Huh. That's... wow. I don't think I've really seen anything like that before.
Yeah, neither have I.
Seen the guy with wings before. He's
Have
dead
we?
now, but we've seen him.
Yeah, he was the assassin who got murdered almost immediately by the Geigen.
Oh, yeah. That was because of an item, though. That wasn't his own fucking wings.
You've been hiding those underneath your armor?
Not this whole time, just last night. As I said, it has grown very uncomfortable in my armor.
Ah. Huh. Wow. I don't quite know if there's anything anyone with armor skills could do to make it not less comfortable.
I would assume there's ways that it could be modified, though I don't know. It's very strange, and I'm sure whoever I have do so probably will have not seen anything like it before. In any case, it needs to be done, and that is what I was wished to show you so you weren't surprised later.
It's going to make one hell of an impression at your party.
Yeah, sure. In any case, he gave me this and told me something. I opened up the chest that Metal had, and there were some things inside, most of which I assume are not going to want to be touched at all, because they are most likely cursed like many other things that we have found. However, there were some scrolls that the host wants me to open, because they apparently have information that we need. Someone who can tell us a great number of things, who has apparently lived since the Velirine age, and is very old.
How long
What?
ago is the Velirine age?
At this point, as much as we know, I still have no fucking clue.
We'll settle with it's been a while.
Hundreds of
Yeah.
years at the very least.
Nonsense. No one could be alive from back then, even if they were elven-blooded.
I for
metal
all
was
of the
alive.
many strange things that I have seen, this will not be surprising in the very least. In any case, we need to open them and see what the hell they have inside of them. And I wish to do it in a safe place like this and make sure that no one saw it.
All right.
I'll pull out the 2 scrolls from inside the bag of holding.
Cool. So everyone can feel these things vibrating.
I'll pull out... Actually, I should make it the correct description. I'll pull out a black stitch sack of flesh.
Yeah.
Ah.
That's
Yeah, I'm aware. Also very much why I'm not going to touch any of the other items until I have them discerned by someone who's much more arcane focused. And then I'll open up and take out the 2 scrolls inside.
We
Cool.
take that to the academy. They're gonna wonder what the fuck is wrong with us.
Well, I'm not going to bring the sack to them. I'm going to bring the other stuff. The sack is getting burned. Damikos, would you like to burn something? Burn this.
Oh, don't burn that in
I mean,
enclosed
I was
space.
prepping to burn your house this morning. So.
Exactly. Now I'm giving you something else to burn.
You're gonna trap the smell down here.
Well,
with
not
us.
down here. Later.
It'll be later. I'll take care of it if you really want it gone.
Good. I do.
If it'll even burn, who knows? There might be
Well-
magic on that bag.
Well, do the best you can. I don't care.
Okay.
Okay,
Well,
scrolls.
Who's gonna
Cool,
open
sorry.
the scrolls?
was taking
I'll
notes.
open the
So,
scrolls.
real quick, when you pull out the scrolls, everybody in this room can feel the power vibrating from this. It's almost intoxicating how alluring this power is. Some serious power, like firepower, is locked in this page that's been rolled up like a scroll.
Well, before I open it, I'm actually gonna do the smart thing this time and cast Bless on a bunch of people. Let's see. Do I have anything else I could buff myself with? I mean, that's concentration, so I probably can't.
I could do a slight buff.
I mean, I'll take it. Whatever.
Let's see. So
I have dispel magic now, just in case.
You're going to dispel the magic in these scrolls?
Oh no, something bad happens to us.
Why did something bad happen to you?
It's not much. It would be, protect you a
But yeah, I'm
little
gonna
bit.
cast Bless on myself, Kara, and Damikos because we're the squishy people. Well, I'm not squishy, but I'm the
I
one
have
opening.
112 health now.
Oh wow, that's actually pretty good. You're actually only like 20 health points away from me.
Ooh.
Jeez.
Cool.
But what are you gonna cast,
No
Damikos?
longer.
It's not much. It'd be a D6.
I mean, I don't fucking care. I'll take it. When this thing makes me Constitution save DC 25 or die, that's what I
Sure,
want it
it's-
for.
Or intelligence
Um,
save.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Let me. I'm going to take a moment and burn a first level spell slot
Okay.
to give myself a charged rune.
Okay, 1 second. Yeah, no, good.
And then I am going to transfer the rune as a glyph of Aegis to Zon. So basically, if you take damage from an attack, hazard, or spell, you can reduce it by a d6.
I remember this. This is what
Okay,
happened before
sure.
Kara fell into the.
Yeah.
Yeah, nothing bad
Okay.
clearly happened then.
But yeah,
Listen,
we're all
I'm a
blessed up,
dwarf
and
now.
now I'm gonna open it up.
Cool.
I guess I could also.
Too late.
Let me do one more thing really quick. Oh, okay.
All right. So Zon takes the scroll and opens it up, and at first it just looks like a blank. I want to say, like the paper made out of hemp. But then after a moment, slowly ink bleeds to the surface, and you find. Hold on, let me get the link. This spell. It is, the epic version.
What classes can cast this?
So
Wizard, Warlock, and
Sorcerer.
It looks like, yeah.
No, but I
It's-
believe
I
with
just- It should say that. Whatever. It's fine.
It's the epic things, but
I know it is, but it should say the other ones too, because nobody knows
I'll make
those.
that adjustment. I'll make that adjustment. But anyway, so on at least for me, anybody can use a spell scroll.
Oh, okay.
It just
All right.
if it's a dangerous spell that you wouldn't have like the capable spell slots for, there is a chance it could go wrong with the more powerful of the spell scroll.
Do I
the
need
higher
to?
chance
Would
of going
someone
wrong.
like even like me who has spellcasting still need to make like an Arcana check while casting, or no? Is it just
yeah.
like you use it and it's good?
No, so the way that it would work, especially with this being an epic spell, is that because it is an epic spell and you're not technically a person capable of casting epic spells, because you have spell casting, you would bypass the Arcana requirement. Instead, you would be able to cast it. It would be as if you had cast it, so you would need to make the necessary saves to be able to cast it properly. In any case, unlike trying to cast an epic spell just from casting it, there isn't a chance that it could fail. The spell's still going to occur. It just whether or not the spell also hits you is going to be dependent on the certain checks.
Okay. I'm actually reading the spell now, and that's disgusting.
Yeah, right. It is not. It is a mean spell. Is what it is.
I'm gonna hand that to Kara
Cool. Carl,
and
send
be
you one.
like, "Hey, you probably want this, and save it for something really, 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 really bad." Or probably best is wait till all of us say it's a good idea to use it.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Welcome to epic spellcasting.
Ugh. What
Yeah.
the hell?
Yeah.
Ah!
Yup.
But in any case, while you're recovering from that, I'll open up the other one and make sure. I assume this one actually has the information I need on it.
This one, it from what you can tell, it looks to be it's when you open it, it takes a moment, and then some ink bleeds through. But there's no. It doesn't look to be a spell. It's requesting for the mark to continue.
I assume it means my mark, and I will place my hand that has the mark on it onto it.
Sure. So the paper begins. So the mark on the back of Zahn's hand begins to glow, and slowly the ink on there sort of starts to shift, and the paper starts to peel itself in half. On one, it's a map, like the one that Zahn is directly holding onto. It's Zahn. You can feel you can almost see the pigment from the skin on your hand starting to drain a little bit as the pages fill up. As the page fills up with ink and starts to turn into a map that points out a certain landmark near the capital of Kel. And above that little mark on the map, it says home of the Oracle. The second paper, oh God, hold on. God, I hate this. The second paper, hold on, is this.
I assume I don't need those material components.
No, not when using the spell scroll itself.
That's what I thought. Because I don't know where the fuck I'm going to find that. Or what that even means. Oh.
Right?
Okay.
That's another fun
We're just
spell.
getting into nuking fucking cities, I guess.
If you want to look at it that way.
I mean, that is what it's doing. It's a fucking mile long.
Yeah, I'll just go ahead and post those links in the chat here so y'all can see them.
Yeah.
As I assume he's sharing it with everyone. Or at least letting people take a look.
I am curious what has everyone so concerned.
Things that I want everyone to promise now are only going to be used when all of us agree to it. In very dire circumstances.
How long?
Yeah.
Yep. So, fun fact for our viewers here: this was created. These spells that were created, that of course you're not seeing, but they are fantastic spells. These spells that were created using the 2C Gaming's Epic Legacy campaign codex, with help creating epic spells. So, thanks 2C Gaming. More on them later.
No, we don't need any more.
Dust.
We can agree to
This
that,
one.
Zahn.
I'm going to hand to Damokos.
Oh. Guessing this is the Call of the Forbidden one.
Yes.
Okay.
They're both linked in the notes.
Don't
for
fucking
ease.
laugh.
I can't control what he laughs about.
Well,
That is,
in any case, I assume this map is what we need.
I mean, do you want to just stand 1 mile outside of the palace and
If I knew she was there and I didn't care about other casualties, then probably. But I
Jesus.
do, and also I don't know that she's there.
Also
Thinking
only
about
about
using-
30 feet wide, so I imagine the castle's bigger than that.
It's a little bit wider than 30 feet. Yeah.
the trajectory might need a bit of work, but
On the off chance she's like pressed into the farthest corner in her fucking state.
In any case, on top of that, I don't even think no one would take over because no one would know you did it.
Just
True.
now everything is dust.
Just ignoring that option because it's a dumb option.
it's a super last
Oh.
ditch option.
David, I don't like that. I don't like that.
what is a virulent disaster?
Hell if I know.
Why don't
That's
you
a
guys
very
find
good
out?
question.
Just drop it on the capital real quick. We'll find out real.
Because his fucking name is in the spell, I'm going to consult the journal to see if I
Sure.
can figure out what the fuck that means.
So, go ahead and let's see what the journal gives you. Let's do a. What was the rule I had you do last time? It's been a while since you consulted the journal.
It's been a hot minute because we've been in vampire land for a long time.
True. Why don't we go ahead and. Yeah, let's do an investigation check in the journal.
Okie dokie.
Cool. So the only thing you can find about the virulent disaster is a drawing of a skeleton with big ass claws for hands, and then the word saying "but worse."
So,
And the rest of it is just nonsense.
so like,
About
picture a Johnny, but like, give the Johnny sickles for hands,
Okay.
and then somehow make it worse.
Somehow.
Speaking
Alright.
out of character, was that what they were fighting in the capital?
yes.
Oh.
Once again,
Oh no,
Question-
no, hold on. You were not fighting virulent disaster.
I was
You
about
guys
to
did
say
not
that. There's
see
no
the
way
basic
those
Johnnies
are
with
virulent
claws.
disasters. Yeah.
No, you fought regular Johnnies who like glowed purple, but you have not fought a virulent disaster yet.
They were
It's
purple?
gonna make you guys upset.
It's already making me upset.
Once again, answers I did not ask to have or need. So, forget the spells for now. Like I said, those are things we need to be in dire straits for you to use. And we need to all be in agreement when we use them, because those are disasters waiting to happen.
Yes.
Beyond that, I'm actually almost regretting giving those to you right now. Should I put them in the bag of holding so that they don't get used without very, very, very needed circumstances?
We should probably get a proper bag of holding before.
Well,
we do
I just
anything
need to
that important
replace. This
there.
one just needs to be repaired. It can still be repaired. But is that agreeable, do you suppose? Not having them on our persons in case, something happens and you lose it, or some sort of arcane magic hits your scroll and destroys and rips you to pieces. That sort of a thing.
I think, given the circumstances of what these spells are, and given where we are, that might not be a terrible idea.
It just seems like the safest place for them to be is in the pocket dimension that within my hip, so that they won't get used.
So they're in this strange language that it seems like only you can understand.
The scrolls, no.
Ah,
Anyone could use them, which is why I'm suggesting they go into the bag, so anyone can't just use them.
your beneficiary certainly knows how to arm his weapons.
I mean, it didn't come from him.
It didn't come from him.
Now, this
He
is what
was
the
more
hag
worried
had.
about the map here, not the scrolls. He didn't even mention the scrolls.
It is rather interesting, though, if I have to say.
Of course
My
they
father, my father probably would have given an arm and a leg to have even one of these.
are. I'm sure there's many, many, many people who would give everything for something like this.
Oh,
Which
no,
is
not
exactly
those.
why it goes into the bag.
Oh, not those. She's gonna say, pointing to the scrolls. Those. And she's gonna motion to Kara's book and the journal.
Who is your dad? That's curious.
He was a collector of fine historical pieces. Actually,
I see.
I don't know if you have heard him.
Does he have a name?
I mean, he does. It's just, it's very old.
Just say it, man. Woman.
Just, his name was Johannes Almenara.
Oh my fucking god. Fuck you.
Yeah, the Almanara, there are some historical artifacts that have been sent out with Almanara, but that's old school. That's like people haven't heard of the Almanara collection in a while.
I was talking about Johannes. I feel like we've heard that. Where the fuck did we hear that before?
I think that was the scholar. I think that went nutso and went to go search for a vault, but I'm not sure.
You mean the scholar that turned out to be just Eric in different clothing?
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
that was a different person.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
You might be confusing it with Yorkon's, which was Yovin's
Oh yeah, that's definitely
all-
what I'm confusing it.
second name.
He was famous in his time, I will admit, but like famous enough to have a few plays written about him, and one he wrote himself. Had a
Right.
talent for writing.
Right.
Is he dead?
Did he have
yes.
anything similar to
Oh.
this stuff?
I'm not entirely sure. Could have.
Where is all of it now then?
are we turning into grave robbers?
No,
Are we
I'm
going
not
to-
suggesting we go steal from a man's grave.
No,
I'm
when
suggesting if he has a collection still somewhere, we could go make sure that there's nothing important there, if it's
When my-
along our way.
father died, he left his collection to the guild that he was a part of and helped found.
And what guild is that?
Yeah, what
Hey.
guild is that?
Francisca, is it the same one that we visited yesterday?
No,
Okay.
my father had a distinctly different style than those. Much more, how would you say, gentleman thief.
Oh, all right. Is their collection still around? Or are they still around? I assume they're in Kel.
Yes, they are in Kel, but I have not been a contact with them in quite some time. I had a bit of a falling out with them, as it were.
I see.
I would not even know if they would have another book similar to these, but it was certainly something my father had a keen eye and some keen hands for. And like I said, would have given an arm and a leg for an original Uruk the Dragon Slayer tale.
All right. As he takes that journal and throws it in the bag of holding.
Fuck yo dad.
Yeah. I also hand Zon the mini spell nuke.
Yes, please put that in the bag of holding.
I am begrudgingly putting the other spell scroll in there too, because
Oh, thank God.
I at least have one more. So.
Disappointing. Fuck off. You literally handed us a key to a nuke.
I handed you 2 keys to nukes.
Exactly.
Yeah, we got both the launch keys.
Oh, I
Any
can't
of
wait.
us can use them.
Everything cool that we have is now in the bag.
Someone should start.
My fucking
Strike.
gremlin brain wants all of the shiny things.
The ball of wax is in the bag, right?
Yep.
Yep.
Yep, that's in
Cool.
there too.
There's so much stuff in the bag. You keep handing us cursed magic items. I have
I
no
don't hand
magic items. You hand me
They're not
everything that's
cursed.
cursed. Everything is
They're
cursed. What do you mean?
I'm
The
literally
waxmaker's
wearing
ball is a
cursed
monkey's paw.
Jacket.
Yeah, her jacket is
You don't-
cursed. All the guy gun stuff you gave us is cursed after I had it
Yeah,
checked.
that was rough.
The guardian hand that I have, the gauntlet, that's a prosthetic, that's cursed.
We've never checked
cursed.
that one.
I
We've
don't-
never checked
well,
that one.
I thought we did.
We
The
didn't.
chipping green plate that made that guy fly, that was cursed. The silver bow, that one's cursed.
I don't think that one's cursed.
Yeah, the green
That
plate
one
that
just
made the fly
is
wasn't cursed. Yeah.
Too hard for us to operate.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. I mean, at that time, but now that you guys have leveled up, you're more adequately able to bond with the armor. I don't just hand you cursed items. You guys only find the cursed items.
Oh yeah, I'm sure that's what it is.
Cursed items are in like the most accessible places.
Yeah. I would also leave heavily cursed items out to stop people from getting my good not cursed stuff.
Yeah.
That people are just satisfied with like
Sure.
cursed items.
Sure.
Oh. Don't we still have also that glass dagger that you can put the little vial of slime in?
Think about any vial
The
or
what?
anything you want there. It's a hollow
I-
glass dagger.
The first time we were here, there was a little glass dagger, and you could put something in the handle, and I assumed it was acid, but like it could also be a slime.
Well, if we still have
That's
that,
not
it's not in the
cursed.
bag because I don't
It's
have
not.
that.
Noodle
car's
gets his
keeping
dagger
it from
hoarding
the-
tendencies from someone.
All right.
Oh,
But I suppose now we have a decision to make. The host was very adamant in telling me that we didn't have a lot of time to go see this individual.
Like they're
But
gonna die?
we also don't have a lot of time to just not take the throne. Because they
Yes, the
do need
ball
to
is coming up.
prepare. Yes, and the ball is coming up. So, I don't exactly have my full plan in place anymore as well, since James was the contact for basically all of the ways in I have.
Was he able to convey any of that information to you?
No, he told me there was a plan that we could grease some fingers of people that were running the show there, so I could get in with weapons. That would just be the most of it is getting in, though. Finding her is another problem.
Well, you do know that at the Queen's Ball, she does tend to be out in the ball. She's, of course, surrounded
Yeah,
by heavy guards,
but getting
she's
there
out in the public eye.
with weapons, the only other people besides guards having weapons, is another question.
I'm not going to comment on that.
Yes, and unfortunately, as far as any information on my side, because originally that was the plan you were helping me out with Zon from my dad's side, but my father expects me to get all the details without any of his resources.
I'm gonna be honest, as I've given it a lot of thought now, and I have no ties here anymore. I'm very greatly thinking of going with the save as many people as we can plan, which is we need to start actually fulfilling this duty that we have, which will mean going to the Oracle, finding the last 2 pieces of the sword, and fulfilling that. Because if we waste our time here with the Queen, we might not have our chance with the Oracle. And if we lose that, we lose valuable information. And if we lose that valuable information, we lose out on finishing the sword and whatever comes of not doing that. And then we all die. Not just us, but everyone. Or whatever the disaster is awaiting us for not doing it. And I don't want to sacrifice anyone here. But we don't have a whole lot of time, and we've been dilly-dallying a lot.
Oh, that sounds like quite a heavy burden to bear.
I'm aware.
But if you also have the throne, you can get all the others in Moroth on board.
There's no telling that they will follow me, though. I have many plans for if I had that. Changing the entire political structure was going to be term 1, or first object on the list, so that we could have a more streamlined system of having people having actual say and less barbarity. But I don't know how long that's going to take. And there's probably going to be a lot of people that will immediately make an enemy out of me.
I am
Where
not as
the 4 of us can quickly move wherever we wish and do whatever we wish immediately.
When is the ball? Do we know?
You haven't gotten any notification, but speaking of, you guys hear a voice, hello? Echoing out from, like,
fucking God.
above you guys.
What the fuck?
above.
Hello?
I'm going to immediately chase after this voice so that
Yeah,
nothing
we'll
else
follow.
gets heard.
Well, no, it's echoing, like, it's not within earshot. It's echoing from, like, presumably first floor of the tower.
Yeah,
Like
that's
the
why
trapdoor.
where I'm heading immediately.
Cool. So yeah, you climb out of the trapdoor and you see one of the messengers kind of standing there looking around and sees you. Oh, Lord Masverick?
How the hell did you find me?
They're magic.
Oh, I can't explain it, sir. Just know where people are.
Insight check.
Go ahead. Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, he's telling the truth, and he's kind of bustling over to you with
He's
he
just
pulls a letter.
fucking psychic. Alright, whatever. What do you have?
Here, he hands you an ornate letter. That just has your name in a big flourishy script. He goes, are the others down there?
Oh, I also followed, so I'm
Yeah.
coming up as
How
well.
many
I
people
assume
went up?
everybody followed.
Yeah.
He goes,
We're
oh,
all
okay. He
I'll
hands
stay
each
up.
of you. You're staying under?
Yeah.
He hands each of you letters, and then kind of gives you a nod. He goes, all right. Have a good day and be safe. And he starts to back out of the tower, but
Before
without
he
turning
leaves,
his back to you guys.
I'm going to pull out 5 gold and toss it to him. You
Does he
know
catch
nothing of this place. Do not ever come here again.
He's going to give you a little salute and then turn around and kind of jog out because he figures who's going to pay him and then kill him.
Oh, I know some people.
That's some next level.
You need him on fires. No, I'm kidding.
Well, at least they still recognize me. In this
I will
body.
open up the letter.
Yeah, I'll open it
Yep.
also.
Cool. It is an official invitation to the Queen's Ball. The date is set as a week from today.
Week.
It gives you 7 days to prepare.
7 days to fucking book it. Go back.
Now I'll go up.
All right.
Is it just for us, or can we like bring somebody with us?
While it doesn't explicitly say that you can bring a guest, it also doesn't say you can't.
I don't know how else we're gonna get Francisca in there.
Well, what does those letters say?
It's the invitation.
So you now have a clearer timetable, I take it?
And it's not enough, as I was saying.
So,
A week is not enough to go and do anything else. Well, major.
so kill a queen and take over a country, or find an oracle and be on your way to parts unknown to save the world. Is that what the 2 basic choices are?
Yep. That's about as basic as it gets. And I'm of the opinion that only one makes sense at this point.
Well, I am not Morathian, so I do not feel I should weigh in as heavily on this decision. Either option, it sounds like it will be most entertaining.
You all can decide what you want to do. But I'll let you know now. I have nothing here anymore. And as much as I would like to change the system here, it can wait until everything isn't going to die. Even if they do have a war coming their way that they need to be prepared for. If we fail at what we've been tasked to do, or at least I have been at this point, then everything dies. And there's no more to come back to.
And on that cheerful note, we'll leave the deliberations up for next week, and we'll go ahead and end tonight's session here. Thank you all so much for joining us on another week of FetchQuest. We love hosting the show. We love being here. You know what? No, I'm not going to make a political statement. Y'all stay safe out there. And so for things I have to promote, I actually have some this week. So
Nice.
you know how I mentioned 2C Gaming's Spell Creator? Well, they also are hosting a Kickstarter. They have an Epic Legacy edition, most likely the final of the final of the Epic Legacy books. It's the Tome of Titans. They take specific big monsters and they give them actual Epic Legacy stats. You can find all the information there. It's got a whole bunch of cool things, and if you join their Patreon, you can also see some of their works in progress of their builds. Like they recently released Asmodeus, and Jesus, it's a rough thing to fight. But yeah, anybody else got anything they want to promote? All right. Thank y'all so much. We'll see y'all next week. Have a wonderful day and stay safe. Bye.